This is lesson 7. This is our sunset lesson. The sun is now setting. For dramatic effect, you will see the sun setting in this video. The human condition. What's the human condition? Greed. These are all the people we know really well. Gluttony, sloth, pride, envy, lust, anger. You familiar with those? Yeah. So we're going to talk about those. All right. So when we allow these things to sit in our heart, when we have a conflict, what's happening is these things are being aroused by another person. So the conflict doesn't actually begin at that moment. It began long ago when we allowed these qualities, characteristics, to infest our heart. And so we come across a person, as we say, that person pushes our buttons. He's pushing the button of greed or lust or anger or envy. It's sitting within us. He can't push it if it's not there. So conflict doesn't really begin in the moment. It begins long before the moment. Because if we're more peaceful, if we overcome these negative characteristics, then in that same environment, there won't be conflict. We'll sort it out very easily. So now it's time for a quiz. When you squeeze an orange, what do you get? Who knows the answer? Exactly. You get orange juice. Now the next difficult question. Why do you get orange juice? Right, because that's what's inside the orange. When you squeeze an orange, you get orange juice because that's what's inside the orange. Now, the next question. When you are squeezed, what comes out of you? Exactly what is ever inside of you. Have you ever told somebody, you make me angry? Now, all they're doing is squeezing you, and the anger is coming out. Nobody can make you angry if you don't have anger inside of you, right? What happened when they crucified Jesus? Did he become angry? Did he become angry? No. He became compassionate. Yes? They tried to kill him, and he became tolerant, forgiving, and compassionate. Why? Because that's what was inside of him. Interesting, isn't it? What's inside of you? Whatever is inside of you is what comes out of you when you're squeezed. The person who angers you is only bringing out what's inside of you. They're pushing your buttons, your red buttons. Now, I like to say we should carry blue buttons. Blue buttons are all the higher consciousness qualities, like kindness, compassion, integrity, forgiveness, love, and so forth. If you carry blue buttons, then when people push your buttons, so to speak, only the good qualities are going to come out. So they push your button in a negative way, and out of you comes something positive. So we have a story. It's called The Yogi and the Scorpion. So in India, it rains. Every year, it rains for 4 months. It's the same 4 months. And it rains constantly, and it floods. So one day, a yogi was walking through this big flood. It was just a road that was flooded. And he spotted a scorpion. And scorpions cannot live in water. So the yogi took compassion on the scorpion, thinking, I have to get the scorpion out of water, otherwise he's going to die. So he picks up the scorpion, and then the scorpion bites him. Of course, the scorpion didn't really understand. He was trying to help the poor fellow out of the water. Scorpion didn't understand. Poor fellow means him. He didn't understand that. So he bites the yogi, and the yogi just throws the scorpion. Knee-jerk reaction. Then the yogi walks through the puddle, and he gets to the scorpion, and he picks him up again. The scorpion bites him, and then he throws him. And this keeps happening. And there's this man, and he's watching this, and he's thinking, is this yogi crazy? Has he been smoking too much hashish? What is going on here? So he goes up to the yogi. He says, Yogi, I've been watching what you're doing. You kept picking up the scorpion, and he kept biting you. Why? What's going on? He said, the scorpion was teaching me a lesson. See, I was trying to help the scorpion, and the scorpion was biting me because it's the nature of a scorpion to bite. So I thought, okay, it's the nature of a scorpion to bite. So he's going to bite you even if you try to help him. So I put 2 and 2 together, and I thought, well, I'm a yogi, and my nature is to be kind. So if the scorpion won't give up his nature to bite, even though I'm being kind, why should I give up my nature to be kind, even though he's biting? Nice story, isn't it? Isn't it true that so often we have a nature, we have our spiritual nature. We want to be kind, we want to be compassionate, loving. And then some scorpion-like person bites us. And what do? We bite back. You stinking scorpion! Yeah. You deserve it. Right? That's one reaction, right? How often have you reacted that way? Right? So, we're reacting with the same energy that's coming to us. Red button energy. So here the yogi's acting with blue button energy. My nature as a yogi, as a saintly person, is to be kind. So even though the scorpion is biting, why should I give up my nature to be kind? And so often we give up our spiritual nature to be kind when people are biting. It's a huge mistake. And this story, it's such a good example. That's such a good story to remember. Be like the yogi, even though the scorpion is biting him. Don't give up your nature to be kind. Your abuser helps you become stronger. So the scorpion actually taught a lesson to the yogi and helped the yogi become stronger because it brought out this higher awareness. It brought out the yogi's kind nature. It brought it out more intensely, more deeply. So, if somebody does something negative for you, it could actually make you kinder. It could actually make you more compassionate. It could actually make you more forgiving. It doesn't have to make you angry. It doesn't have to make you vengeful. It can have just the opposite effect. So if you understand everything's a test, everything's an opportunity, then you can let the negative things become your teacher. You can let the negative things be those events in your life that make you stronger, make you better. These are the ways we grow. Bad things happen, so-called, but the bad things make us grow. So if you take it that way, you can take every opportunity as an opportunity to grow and learn. So then it's all good. Even the bad is good. There is no bad, it's all good. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Have you ever heard of that? So people are throwing lemons at you. Go, thank you very much. Squeeze your lemons. Make lemonade. So something bad, they're trying to harm you with their lemons, with their sour lemons, and you're making lemonade. So that's the idea. Take the negative things in life and make them positive. There's always something positive you can get from every situation. Sometimes it's in the greatest distress that we learn our greatest lessons. Sometimes it's when relationships almost fall apart, they become the most strong again, isn't it? When it's just about to crack, you're forced to put it together. If you do it right and if you think in the right way, just when it gets to the worst becomes that pivotal point where you repair it and it goes even better and better. Better than it was before the crisis. Pain fades, but the lessons that you learn always stay right there with you. So, as you probably know, sometimes pain is necessary. We do a little exercise and we ask people, write down painful events in your life and what you learned from them. And we have them write them on cards. So they put the cards in front of them on the floor. Then we ask them, if you could relive your life again without those painful experiences, which one would you not want to have? And we just ask them, pull the card off the floor of which one you wouldn't want to have. And nobody pulls off any cards. Because they realize every painful lesson, every painful event came with a lesson that is fundamentally important in their life. And their life would be so much worse off if they didn't have that lesson. Isn't that true? That if you get the lesson from the pain, you become stronger. And so life is a series of painful lessons. Now, when you learn your lessons, you don't have to go through the pain because you're smart enough to learn them. But when you're not yet smart enough to learn them, the only way you can learn them is go through the pain. Isn't it? There's a saying, you don't really learn when you see the light. You don't really change when you see the light, but you learn and change when you feel the heat. That's the condition for most of us, right? Here's the light, it's knowledge, do this. And that goes in one ear, out the other. And then I have a painful experience. Oh, now I get it. So I feel the heat, then I get it. I saw the light. Nah, I don't really understand. When we become a little more elevated, then when we see the light, then we'll do what's right. But until we're at that level, painful events in our life are often the only way we're going to learn something, the only way we're going to change, the only way we're going to move. When life is uncomfortable, we try to do something different. If it's not uncomfortable, we stay the same. Nothing changes. So sometimes when things become uncomfortable, it's really good because we grow. It's a crisis, but that crisis made us grow. That crisis pushed us in a way we couldn't push ourselves. And I'm sure you've had that experience. Okay, here's a simple reflection here. It's called When You Were Squeezed. So write down what constantly comes out when you were squeezed. What can you do about it? In other words, what is it? What's that thing that squeezes you? You know, what is it that squeezes you? You know, that keeps squeezing you all the time. And what is it that comes out? What is it? Who is squeezing you? What is squeezing you? And what's coming out? And what can you do about the squeezing? Now imagine when that same person squeezes you. Could something better come out? Because the whole process of forgiveness is learning how something better can come out of the squeezing. Because you've been squeezed. Someone abused you. Can something good come out of that? Can something positive come out of the squeezing? So that's the meditation. If you learn this, if you learn the art of positive coming out of negative, you'll have this amazing positive life. You'll be the most positive person around. Nothing can get you down because you live in integrity with your higher self, with your spiritual self. And your spiritual self is full of good qualities. And you won't allow yourself to be degraded by anybody. There was a slave, and the slave became a politician in America. And now he's surrounded by all the people that enslaved him and his parents and his grandparents. And so people would ask, his friends would ask, how can you work with these people? They're the ones who enslaved you. And he said, I will never allow any man to degrade my soul by causing me to hate him. So I will never allow anybody to bring out these lower qualities in with me, out of me. No matter how bad they are, I will not allow any person to degrade me. What a nice thought. Don't allow other people to degrade you. Stay within your spiritual nature, your higher awareness, your higher consciousness, your divine qualities. Live in that world. Always exhibit those qualities. And nothing, no one, no situation will be able to degrade you. And then there'll be no question of resentment. Because that's not who you are. You're a loving, kind, compassionate person. You're not a resentful person. That's not your nature. Your nature is to be loving and kind.